Hi everyone. We are learning about Africa in our geography studies, and one of our first Africa works was this map to learn about how Africa has some of the world's most spectacular features. And one of them we learned is that the Nile River is the longest river in the world. And the Nile River goes all the way down there. And the Nile River is also a very critical part to this country called Egypt, and we'll start learning about it from ancient times, 4,000 and 5,000 and even longer, many years ago. So let's start with a book in your package this week called our Egypt Coloring Book. You'll need that. You'll need markers, crayons, or colored pencils, whatever you like, and a writing pencil. So let's start with the Egypt Coloring Book. Now I've started to color some of these because I would like to share a little bit about each of these. And I also will be sending to you pictures of the real photographs of these magnificent things in Egypt. This is called the Great Sphinx. It is near Cairo. And the Great Sphinx is an enormous ancient sculpture among several of the pyramids on the Giza Plateau near Cairo. The Sphinx depicts a creature that has the head of a human and the body of a lion. Now, it is 241 feet long and 66 feet high. It's carved from a single outcropping of limestone. And the Sphinx was carved more than 4,500 years ago. And it was carved during the reign of what the kings were called pharaohs. And the pharaoh was Khafra. And so this is actually Khafra's head that's on this creature that was created. Now, because the Sphinx has been around for thousands of years, it's deteriorated a little bit because it's right in the desert, but is still a very magnificent structure. And that is the Great Sphinx. Our next page is something also incredible called King Tutankhamun. King Tutankhamun was a young pharaoh, a young king, and back in ancient Egyptian times, they would bury their kings when they passed away in these incredible pyramids. And King Tut, as he's commonly called, his tomb was found only about 100 years ago. And all of it was there, all of the treasures, and this was a magnificent mask that was part of his mummy. And I will be sending you a picture of this, but it does have inlaid gold and jewels and all these incredible things. It also has a vulture's head and a royal cobra, which is the sign of royalty in ancient Egypt. The mask is about 21 inches tall and weighs about 25 pounds because it is made of gold. And this one was made about 3,500 years ago. King Tut. Our next picture to color is Queen Nefertiti. Now, Queen Nefertiti was also a very famous figure in ancient Egypt. And this is based on a statue of her from over 3,000 years ago. She was one of the wives of the pharaoh Akhenaten, also known as Amenhotep IV. He is known for having changed Egyptian religion to worship a single god called the sun god Aten. This was a beautiful statue that was made into a picture. And our final picture is actually, to color, is actually a statue. And this is of King Menkaure and his queen. And it's very traditional that statues looked like this in ancient Egypt. King Menkaure, I'm not sure I'm saying that right, but I'm trying, and his queen. They don't wear the same kind of clothes that we wear today, but you can see that there's some very interesting things about ancient Egypt. Enjoy coloring.